I've actually done it! I've gotten every freaking weapon in Pixel Gun 3D and I haven't spent anything at all! Hi guys, Exotic Gaming here, back with by far my most requested video in the history of my YouTube channel. How to get free guns by getting unlimited gems and coins for Pixel Gun 3D. Get hyped guys, because this is a good one. If you've been requesting this for a while, your wait is finally over. I would like to give a huge shout out to a fantastic guy by the name of JBro Gaming for finding out how to do this. Basically, getting a developer console for Pixel Gun 3D. This is an awesome way to test out every single weapon in this game before you finally get them on your real accounts. If you're excited for a good way to finally get every single gun and unlimited gems and coins in Pixel Gun 3D, make sure to slam that like button. Heck, if we hit 5,000 likes on this video, I'll see about doing another account giveaway for Pixel Gun 3D. Share this video with everyone you know on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or whatever else, because this is seriously awesome and everyone deserves to know how to do this. The best thing is, you are technically not hacking with this method, and you're installing a different app from your regular Pixel Gun 3D, so there isn't a chance of getting banned using this way. Now, if you're not too familiar with what a developer console is, it's really quite simple. It's basically a custom version of the game that the developers, Reallysoft in this case, uses in order to work out kinks and bugs and that kind of stuff. But also, it has its own special button, and that is the ability to add infinite gems and coins into your account, changing your level to max level, level 31, and therefore getting every single gun. So, with all this being said, let's jump right into this tutorial on how you can get this developer account for yourself. First off, I do want to recommend not downloading this app on the same Android you currently use to play Pixel Gun 3D. This is just in case in the future Reallysoft decides to ban people using this method. It's unlikely they ever will because, like I said, you are using a different account than your main one, but just in case. Now, today's tutorial is for Android devices specifically, but if you have an iOS device, do not worry. JBro has his own video tutorial he will be posting very shortly to his channel for iOS devices specifically, so stay tuned for when that posts. And best of all, for iOS devices, you don't even need to be jailbroken to have this method work. So, let's get right into this. The reason why I'm showing this to you all is so everyone has a chance to try out the different guns of this game. I realize many of the guns are expensive and we can't purchase them all, so using this, you can see how they all perform. However, I don't like many of the OP weapons in this game, but as you will see later on in this video, people doing this won't affect anyone else in the game. And I will explain why later, because you basically won't be interacting with other players in game when you use this method. This is a way to basically test out the guns before you go ahead and get them on your main accounts. So here we are now, guys, on my computer. The reason why I am not recording this on my Android device, the reason why I am not showing you guys how to do this on my NVIDIA Shield directly is because that is the only Android device that I currently play Pixel Gun 3D on. And if I was to install this on my NVIDIA Shield, it would overwrite my current Pixel Gun 3D account, and I do not want that to happen. So I cannot stress this enough, guys. I've said this before, and I'm going to say this again. Do not install this on your Android device directly if you are afraid that you might end up overwriting your current Pixel Gun 3D file. Only do this on an Android device that you do not currently play Pixel Gun 3D on, so you do not have to worry. Now, if you are doing this on an Android device, the tutorial is a little bit different. All you need to do is click the link down below at the top of the description directly from the YouTube app itself. It will take you to the website. You click the download button, wait for it to download. Do not exit out of that website. Once it finishes downloading, it should pop up and you click install. And once that installs, you will have Pixel Gun 3D on your Android device. If the install button does not appear, you can go to your downloads file, click the one physically from your downloads folder, and then you will have it installed on your Android device. And that's basically it for Android people who are doing this directly on their devices. But if you are watching this and you are an iOS user, follow the next couple of steps. Now, you are going to need several different programs in order to do this. The first thing is WinRAR. It's basically a zip archive tool, which, as you guys will see here, basically unzips files that you currently download. So what I would recommend doing is installing the 64-bit version of WinRAR. Depending on if you are a Windows user or a Mac user, it doesn't really matter. You can get this for Mac, as you guys can see right here. Heck, if you're watching this and you are a Linux user, you can get this even for a Linux computer. But I would recommend for the majority of people that probably have Windows computers, 64-bit is sufficient. So click that, install that, and then you're good. The other program that you're going to need is Nox App Player, as you guys can see right here. If you can see at the top left, it's called Nox. It looks like that. And there is a video I would recommend watching so you can actually successfully install this program and set up Pixel Gun 3D properly so you can play this on your computer. I will have a video linked down below at the top of the description alongside the file link titled something like How to Get Pixel Gun 3D and Set It Up on Your Computer. Click that, watch it through, and therefore you can actually get Pixel Gun properly on Nox App Player. So, with that being said, once you do that, click the link down below at the top of the description, the file link, and it will take you to this website right here. Now, you click the download button and it'll take a second to download. It is pretty much the entire version of Pixel Gun 3D, so it'll take about a minute or two. But once you install that, you're going to click Show in Folder, and it will actually open up in your Downloads folder. After you open it up in your Downloads folder, I would recommend dragging it out onto your desktop so it's a little bit easier to access. It's right here on my desktop. I've already installed it, and that is basically it. Now, you open up the Nox App Player, it'll take a second to load, and then you're going to click this button right here. It's called Add APK File. Click on that, then go navigate over to your desktop, click that one, and wait for it to install. Now, the best thing about this is it's not going to basically interrupt anybody else in multiplayer in Pixel Gun 3D. This is mainly a way to test out the guns before you purchase them in Pixel Gun 3D. And do be warned, this is an older version of Pixel Gun, so some of the most recent guns to be added into Pixel Gun 3D are not in this, but it doesn't really matter. I have reviewed some of those guns already, so if you really wanted to know how they worked, click on my reviews that I have on my channel and you can see how the weapons work. Now, after you finish installing the thing, it will automatically open up. It'll take a second. It'll connect to Google Play Games, and you have to go through this short little tutorial right here, the adventure, and then we're going to go back over to Battle Now right here, and then the shop menu, and here we go. The settings menu, and then we have the profile menu, and then there we are here at the main screen. Now, it seems like it's just your regular Pixel Gun 3D account when you first install Pixel Gun 3D. Level 1, 0 XP, your standard newbie skin. But this is something that's also going to be on your Android device directly if you're still watching this. You have this little D button right here, and that is the key to the developer console like I mentioned earlier. You click on that, and you will be taken to a secret menu that only the developers are supposed to see in Pixel Gun 3D. Now, first off, you obviously want to make yourself level 31 so you're able to get every single weapon in Pixel Gun 3D if you are level 1. You only have a certain amount of weapons that you can unlock. When you are level 31, you unlock every single thing in this game. Next off, you obviously want to have a lot of coins and gems in this game, so that is the next thing we're going to do. We're going to have ourselves 100,000 coins, 100,000 gems. That seems pretty suitable, and there we go. But that's not it. That is not all you can do with the developer console. You can do many more things with this. You can actually show a debug UI. As you guys can see, it's at 30 FPS, but you can also click this, and that'll take you up to 60 FPS in the game. So if you want to have 60 FPS, you can now have that with this. You can have a ×3 forced zoom. I would assume that is zoom. I'm not entirely sure. Don't really know what these things actually do, but you can fool around with them yourself, but that's not really that important. The coins and the gems are the most important. Once we click the back arrow right now, we will be now on the shop menu. We have to go through this short little tutorial right here. That'll show us this. Is that our pause? I'm not entirely sure what that exactly does. There's this odd little thing right here, but that doesn't really matter because you're basically testing these weapons out over the next couple of seconds. Actually, I think that's with the debug UI, so we should probably turn that off, and then there we go. Now we have the other thing removed. So go to your shop menu, and now you can purchase every single weapon in Pixel Gun 3D. Let's go get our Predator, let's go get our Crystal Laser Cannon, our Future Rifle, our Heavy Shotgun, our Future Rifle. I mean, every single thing you could possibly want, you can now have it in Pixel Gun 3D, and it's just that simple. So, with that being said, let's go download a couple of these things right here. Not download, purchase, sorry. I've been doing this tutorial for a while and I'm confusing my words, but let's go get our katana, let's go get our electro blast rifle, and let's go get a weapon that actually has been removed. Since we are in an earlier version to Pixel Gun 3D, there are some weapons that have since been removed that you can now get, like the Tesla cannon. That was a removed weapon, I believe, so we can now purchase that and actually test it out like you would not normally be able to do with your regular Pixel Gun 3D account. Now, here's the thing. Over the next couple of moments, I'm going to basically explain why this is perfectly fine. There are probably a lot of people watching this video right now that are your morally upstanding individuals that are saying, oh, this is wrong. Hacking is wrong. I can't see why you would ever want to do this. You're basically empowering every single player in Pixel Gun 3D to have the most OP weapons imaginable. Now, here's the thing. This is the older version of Pixel Gun 3D, and you can't technically update this unless you get the regular version of Pixel Gun 3D. So you're forced to play on this version 10.0.4. And people on version 10.0.4 can't actually play against people on our current version. So you don't have to worry about any multiplayer interaction there. Also, you can't even go on it anyways because a lot of the times people won't even have internet connection with Nox App Player, but that's besides the point. With this, you're basically going to be getting these weapons to test them out, and I think that's perfectly fine. A lot of the weapons are pretty expensive in Pixel Gun 3D, so being able to test the weapons out before you purchase them on your main account is always pretty good. Maybe you thought the assault machine gun was the greatest possible weapon ever. Maybe you thought that was just the weapon you needed to have. But after you test this thing out now, you realize maybe that's not just something for me. Maybe that's just not really the weapon I'm feeling, and maybe you're going to get the Crystal Laser Cannon instead. You don't have to worry about spending money on both of them and wasting money on your regular account because you can test them out here on Arena, on Survival Mode, and get a basic feel on how the weapons perform. You can see with the Dual Hawks, after you purchase them, they get pretty inaccurate after you hold down the firing button for a long time, and I mean, I think that's the greatest thing ever. So, you're not really hacking because you're not really going into multiplayer, and multiplayer is normally where you would consider the hackers to be, and you don't really have to worry about anything like that. It's just a harmless little thing to be able to allow you to test out the weapons for free, including some of the ones that have been removed. If you ever wanted to test out the Big Buddy, I don't know if that actually has been added back into the game yet, but at least last time I checked, that was a removed weapon, so if you wanted to test that one out, hey, you can test it out now in Pixel Gun 3D, so it's awesome. With that being said though, guys, that's basically it. I'm going to reiterate what I said for Android users. What you basically need to do is click the link directly from the YouTube app at the top of the description. The little file link, click on that, click the download button and wait for it to install. Do not exit out of that website. Once it finishes installing, you're going to click the install button. I believe you have to click a proceed button as well. And after you do that, you will now have this installed on your Android device. But I'm going to say it one more time. Do not install this on the Android device that you currently play Pixel Gun 3D on, because that Pixel Gun 3D app that you have now, before you download this app, will be gone, and it will be replaced by this one. And you will not have any friends because you're at 10.0.4, you have a different ID, and everything will be reset. So, be warned, get this on something like your computer where you don't play Pixel Gun 3D on currently. So, hopefully this helped, guys. Make sure to leave a like if it did, if you found this helpful, if you're able to now test out all of these weapons for free and not have to worry about wasting a bunch of money. I'm trying to help you guys out with this one. Huge shout out to JBro Gaming. Again, I will link his channel down below at the description, at the top of the description alongside the other file links. There are 3 things you need to check out. The how to download Nox App Player and play Pixel Gun 3D on your computer video, the actual link to this app itself, and then the actual link to JBro Gaming, because he was the one who found this out, and more than likely he's probably going to find out a better way in the near future. So subscribe to him if you want to find a better way in the near future. But with that being said, guys, yeah, 5,000 likes and we're going to get a special giveaway. I'm probably going to do something special for 250,000, so you might even be giving away more than one account. I don't really know. I guess we're going to have to see, guys. And share this with everyone you know and love, because, I mean, hey, if your friends ever wanted to test out a weapon, and then just show them this video, and they can actually test it out now in Pixel Gun 3D. If you are watching this and you wanted to test out something that's more recent, like the Photon Sniper Rifle, or whatever the new Easter weapon is going to be when it is added in very shortly in the next updates, I will be reviewing those. I've already reviewed the Photon Sniper Rifle and some of the more recent weapons, so you can just watch my reviews, and that's perfectly fine. But with that being said, guys, thank you all for watching. Comment anything at all, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you all in the next episode.